Welcome to KC EdTech TV. Today we're going to be going over how to use the Streamcart for athletic events. So at mid-court, there's an access panel to get to the power and the network. So the first thing we want to do is set up our extension cord and our network cable. Set in our power there. And then there's a small breakout box here with two network ports. I'm going to plug this blue network cable into port 1. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the Streamcart around to the back, and I'm going to locate the main power cable for all the equipment in this cart. I'm going to plug that into our extension cord, and then I'm going to take our blue network cable and I'm going to plug it into one of the quick access network ports in the back here. I'm going to plug this one into network 1. For safety reasons, it's a good idea to lay down a carpet runner over the cables just so that nobody trips on it. Next, we're going to connect one of the cameras. We're going to use this blue RCA cable here, and we're going to plug this end into the port for camera 1. The other end of the blue RCA cable will connect to the video output of the camera, which is the yellow one right here. We also need to connect the power to the camera. The power adapter is part of the battery charger and looks something like this. This end is the end that connects to the camera, and it slides in just like a battery pack. The other end plugs into the front of the battery charger like this. And then this end will plug into your power source. I'm going to turn the power on to the camera here. Now with all our cables connected, we can turn the power on to the unit here. We'll also want to connect up our headset. We can plug the XLR connector into channel 1 of our patch panel here, and the output we can plug into the phones out in channel 1 of our headphone amplifier here. You can verify that you're getting audio signal by tapping on the microphone. If we focus on the digital video switcher and the monitor for a second, we can see that we're getting signal from both of our cameras. And we can do that by setting our main source to whatever camera input we have our first camera plugged into on the main source selector here. And our subsource will be the second source that we want to switch to. And what it will do is fade from the main source to the subsource when we use the T-bar fader. And you can see up here on our preview monitor that we're getting signal from both cameras. We'll also want to turn on our DVD recorder and load a DVD into the tray. The next thing we want to do is turn the power on to the Viewcast. The Viewcast is the streaming computer that encodes the signal for the internet. The power switch is located below the audio mixer on the left-hand side. It's a gray button with a power symbol on it. Once we've turned the power on to the Viewcast, now we can pull out the monitor and keyboard. To begin encoding our stream for the web, we want to use the Adobe Flash Media Encoder, which is this icon here. In most cases, we won't have to change any of these settings. So we're going to focus over here on the right-hand side. The first thing we're going to look at here is where we're saving our archive to. In addition to our stream, we can also save a local copy in an F4V format. I would suggest changing the file name to today's date to make sure that we can keep track of all of the different archives that are stored on the machine. So to do that, we're going to click Browse. And for the most part, what we can do is save the files under the computer's D drive under AV files. And then I'm just going to name this today's date. And I'm going to click the Save button. And that's going to tell the archive where to save. So this device will stream to a Flash media server, and the URL will be given to you by your hosting provider. For the most part, these credentials are stored, so you can just hit Connect. When you're ready to begin your broadcast, you can hit the Start button here. You should see a verification that the video encoding and audio encoding has started. At this point, you can close the computer monitor and just run the device from the video switcher. These monitors up here will show you what's coming through the video switcher as well as what's coming through the DVD recorder. For a copy of the film immediately following the game, we can use the DVD recorder to record what the cameras are seeing. You can use the Toshiba remote and hit the record button to make sure that you're getting a recording. When the game is finished, you can press the stop button to stop the recording on the DVD recorder. You can see on the left-hand screen that the project is being written to the disk. To make the disc playable on a consumer DVD player, we first have to finalize it. We can do that by first pressing Setup on the remote control. From there, we can use the cursor keys to navigate the menu, and pressing Select in the center of the cursor buttons. From the Setup menu, we first want to go down to the DVD menu option. And then we want to click Finalize. When it asks us if we want to finalize the disc, we want to make sure to say yes. Once the disc is finished, it should show you the title menu. At that point, you can eject the disc from the DVD player. After the event, we just want to make sure that we stop the encoder. So we can press Stop here. And then we also want to make sure that we disconnect from our Flash media server. And now I'm going to close down the Flash media encoder. And I'm going to shut down the viewcast. We click Start and Shut Down. Once the viewcast is shut down, we can close up our monitor and keyboard and power down the unit. Before we unplug the unit, we want to make sure we turn off the UPS. We can do that by pressing the power button for a second. And that should be everything you need to know to get you up and running for streaming athletic events.